So if you didn't know, 3T and THM have just merged together. THM makes some seriously lightweight carbon stuff, and I'm here with Thomas, one of the designers, who's going to talk us through a bit of their new range.
I think the newest product is the update of the Fibula. The most important thing we changed is that we make it available for different wide rims. So you have not to change the clamping of the cable. You can, with a small wheel, you can change the weight of the brake pads, so you can exchange training rim and wheel to a competition wheel without changing the cable clamping and without, it's very important, changing the translation ratio. So it doesn't matter how wide are the brake pads, and you have the same feeling and the same stiffness for the brake.
So still a very powerful brake, basically.
It's a powerful brake. It's not only light. It's the most important thing for a powerful brake is to have a very stiff parts. So we made it of carbon.
Yeah. So if you're wondering how light and you think your brakes are light, you might not be able to see down there, but that's in grams, and it says 65 at the minute for one caliper, which is seriously light. Now we've seamlessly segued along by the magic of television to another scale, and we have an 85 gram stem.
Yes, that's our new product. We developed about 1 year a new stem, and the goal was to have a very light one, but also a very nice one. It's a fine design, and this design is following the function. So we calculated fiber load passes, and at least we got a stem who looks very nice and not like a aluminium welded stem in carbon. And very special, I think, is the cap. It's a full carbon cap. It weighs 10 grams only, but it's very stiff, and you need it to fix the bar here. So it's a very complicated development, and we thought it might be much more easier, but at least we reach our goal with a very light and stiff stem.
Obviously, no super lightweight build will be complete without a super lightweight crank, so you guys have this one here.
Yes, as I said before, we started more than 20 years ago with the development of a first carbon crank, full carbon crank, and now we have a lot of experience. And last year we presented a new one, very light, less than 300 grams, the crank, and very stiff. And I think that's also important, because only the weight is not all. We need a very stiff for a good translation of the power you introduce. It's a carbon axle integrated in the right crank, and special bearing fittings, so we have no noise between the axle and the inner ring of the bearing.
So basically no infuriating creaking from the crank and stuff like that.
Yes, this was sometimes a problem with aluminium axle, and so in this situation with a plastic cover here, so we have no cracking noise, and so we have a very light and reliable crankset.
Yeah, and just to be clear, if that's under 300 grams, that's kind of less than half the weight of most of the leading companies' cranksets.
Yes, it is, and I think that's the experience of 20 years of development in a crankset.
Cool, cheers.